All right, good afternoon. I certainly hope and pray that all is well with everyone. Hold on. All right, I certainly hope and pray that all is well with everyone. I hope that you're having a wonderful Sunday. I think today was the first Browns game. I don't know. I think it was at 1 o'clock. I don't know if they're still playing. Probably. Past, what is that, Muni lot where they were having the tailgate parties and whatnot. It's packed. In Cleveland, there's some diehard Browns fans. Okay. But anyway, get into this real quick. So continuation on here of the assholes, in which BreaunaJewellBellamy got involved with here. So one part of this situation that people go through, like myself with this, is this: they want you to, those that are being targeted by whomever, okay, they want you to be without any financial resources. So that's why BreaunaJewellBellamy kept saying on her channel and post, I was broke and unemployed and all that. None of that was true. None of that is true. But this is one thing that they strive for you to be broke, for you to be unemployed, for you not to have any, or your businesses, for your businesses to fail, so on and so forth. Well, I mentioned this. I'm a substitute teacher, and sometimes I'm sometimes I have done, I put it like that. In the past, I've done daily work where I will go in as a sub daily. I'll pick whatever school I want to go to. And then there have been times where I was a building sub, meaning I was in a particular building for assigned to that building for the school year. Sometimes they also have, I talk about this patron subs, where you will be a sub in just one district, but you will be, you just be in that district in any building. But anyway, I've been a building sub. Now, I guess maybe about 3 years now, maybe 4 years, because it was the school year of 21-22. Was that 21-22? 21-22. I was a building sub in a particular district. And I worked in the high school. Basically toward the end of the school year, which was like April, I was assigned to the middle school. Well, I was hired to do a position at the middle school in that particular district. So when I got there, I saw some familiar faces. But hey, it's Cleveland is small. That's how it is. I say that, but I'm sure, hell, you could probably be anywhere, even in cities they say are major cities and big cities, where it's just like you see the same motherfuckers all the time, all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. So what I did, at the middle school of that district, I wasn't subbing as a teacher. I was subbing as a student support coordinator, which basically is administrative, and they do discipline. I was only supposed to do level 1, but I just did whatever they asked me to do. Sometimes I ended up doing more than that. I actually enjoyed myself there. Enjoyed myself there, even though it's wild. And middle school probably anywhere is going to be a little wild because of the age. But even in the most disciplined of places, districts. I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed working with the students. I even applied for that position. I didn't get it, but I was really disappointed when I didn't get it. But looking back on it, rejection is God's protection, honey. Because the next school year, I was still at that school, at the middle school, as a sub, a teacher. Well, anyway, like I said, when I got there the previous year to be the student support coordinator, to sub for that position, there were some familiar faces in terms of the staff. 2 people from that damn gym. One person, she had been I had a trainer there who was a woman. This woman that was there at the school, she was had been trained by that same woman. So, of course, my wall went up. Still cordial, still professional, like you should be, but cautious. And then there was another person there who was a counselor who was from that damn gym. I said, I think she's from there too. She looks familiar, but I don't know her. Now, let me say this. And the one lady quit, but the other one was still there. I was just like, whatever, I'm just going to be myself, Because at the time, I knew something was happening. Oh, no, I was well aware of what they were trying to do to me at that point. Yeah. So I said, well, this lady seemed like she got more sense than that. But you just never fucking know. So, but I was just whatever. I've talked to her. I would even go in her office sometimes and just have very minor conversation here and there. Now that was in, like I said, the 21-22 going to 22-23 school year. That second year when I was a sub there as a teacher, I didn't stay. I moved on somewhere else, like in November. And I tried to get back there, but it was already filled. So I would just do daily work there. Because I really liked the other building subs. Building subs. We had a really nice time together. I really enjoyed working with them. It was fun. We had fun. So anyway, for the last 3 days, I kept getting a notification on my phone for something. But I didn't pay it any attention. It was nothing that I had to pay attention to. Until, what was it, last night? I was like, I keep getting a notification. Was it last night or this morning? I think it was last night. I keep getting this notification. Over and over and over again. Let me look at this and see what this is all about here. So I looked at it, which took me down somewhat of a rabbit hole. Let me say this. That particular district that 22, 23, like I said, I started at the middle school as a building sub until November. And then I moved on somewhere else by my choice. Another school, a private school actually, was offering positions at a, well, on Indeed at a higher rate. And also they were looking for a long-term sub for history for the 11th. No, I keep saying history for English for the 11th grade. So I went there on my own. But when I got there, it was three of us they hired. We all could have sued the shit out of them. But they advertised is not what it was. It was a bunch of bullshit. But I stayed as long as I could. I did sub for the 11th grade as an English teacher. I didn't have a problem with that, but I did have a problem with the way they were running things there. I had a problem that we were lied to about what we would receive as far as compensation. It was nowhere near. They even lied about the offer letter they sent us. And then when we got there, it's like, well, that ain't even what the offer letter said. This is less than what the offer. I could have stayed where I was. I like where I was. you understand what I'm saying? Shit. Okay, but nevertheless. So I left. I stayed as long as and they were demanding things that I'm not going to do this amount of work for less pay than what I was getting just as a simple building sub. Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. So I left. And I gave them the same notification they gave me. None. Okay? But anyway, and I did complain. You know, I'm going to speak up for myself. Okay. The other two ladies, I don't know. I think if I hadn't said anything, they wouldn't have said anything. But they call themselves adjusting it, but it still wasn't what they offered, even in the offer letter and on Indeed, you know. But nevertheless, that's a whole nother story. Whatever. Moving on. So I tried to get back to the middle school that I was at in that district, and that original district I was telling you all about. But they had already filled the position. Of course they did, you know. So I'll just do my daily shit. So the next year, I think that's the year that my daughter graduated from high school, and we were talking, and she was like, I want to leave Cleveland. I was like, me too, child. Me too. So we got to talking, and she suggested it, like, why don't we move to New York? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's move to New York. So that summer, that's what we prepared to do, and we did. Was that? Yeah, we did. Was that? Yeah, we did. We moved to New York. And I've talked about that. But I can go into that further on another video. Okay, why I chose not to stay there. But anyway, so I get back, get my place and everything, start subbing immediately. I go to one of the schools in that same district, just doing daily work. I just happened to go to one of the schools. And one of the ladies that I had worked with at the middle school, she was at that school. This was one of their elementary schools. She was at that school. And she said, you know, we really need a building sub. And I told her, I said, well, I have been applying, you know, because you had to apply all over. Because that was, well, I'm not going to go into the details of it. But I said, I've been applying, but I haven't heard anything, you know. And because she kept telling me we need a building sub. I really, you know, want you to be a building sub here. And she knew my work. I worked with her at that middle school. And I was like, I've been applying and I haven't heard anything. You know, I haven't heard anything even for an interview. So what can I do? Time goes on, not a whole lot of time, but time goes on, and I get word, put it like that, from someone on the administrative end that, you know, they have you on a do not hire list in the admin building. I said, a what? A do not hire list. Excuse me? Do you know anything about that? No, I don't know anything about that. Now, if any job puts you on some kind of do not hire list, there's protocols to everything. That means you have been disciplined a series of times, whatever the number of times is. You they talk to you first, then they write you up and blah 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 blah, and then they let you know if it gets to that point, you know, they let you know you are not eligible to be hired back at this motherfucker. Have never, ever been disciplined for anything as a substitute teacher in any school that I've worked in, because I'm not dumb. I said, oh, okay. So I go on the website and I get the names. I already knew the name of the superintendent who I formerly met on my own. I did summer school one year, and he was in the building. The principal was there, and she asked me in front of him where one of the classes was. Well, hell, you the fucking principal of the fucking school, and it's summer school, and you don't even know. But I told her. He was standing there, and she didn't have sense enough to introduce me to him. But no, because she's higher than me and better than me. You know how that goes. So I saw him myself outside of the classroom when we were on a break. I went to him and I introduced myself. I told him my background, so on and so forth. And he said, you know what, send me your resume. He said, I know that we have something here for you, based off of what I told him. I said, sure, no problem. He said, matter of fact, he said, you get my email and you send me your resume. So I did. That's how you network and open your mouth. The squeaky wheel gets the goddamn all. All. That's what my lady who raised me, her brother said. That's how he would say oil. All. All right. So that's what I did. Now back to this. So what I did when I got that news, I said, okay. I went on the website and I got the name of every single person on the board for that district, as well as the superintendent's name. And I emailed a very professional letter about that whole situation. And what I did was I BCC'd every single person on that board. This is my name, this is who I am. Work for the district, I've been doing this, blah, blah, blah. Matter of fact, I met you and you told me to send you my resume. Here's a refresher. So I, attached it. And I would like to know why I'm on a do not hire list. I don't know anything about being on a do not hire list. How come I don't know anything about being on a do not hire list? Now, I wasn't ghetto and silly and obnoxious. So right after I sent that, I called an attorney. And I told the attorney the situation, and he said, they got you and do not hire. He got real happy. Real happy. I said, yeah. He said, do you know why you were never? I said, no, I was never told anything about being on do not hire. I don't know anything about this, blah, 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 this, that, and other. I've never been disciplined, blah, 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 this, that, and other. He said, okay, I'll tell you what you do. And I said, now, I'm a substitute teacher. Do y'all do, pro bono work? He said, not all the time, but for some cases we do. Because, bitch, you got a fucking case. What you do, he said, you call there first thing, because this was like a Friday. First thing Monday morning, and you tell them to give you a copy of your folder, your employment folder. And he said, and they cannot deny you that. He said, if they deny you that, then you got another case. And I said, okay. So come Monday, I was at one of the schools in another district. I'm in my car, go to my car for lunch. I get a text. Nikki, do you want the job at this building as a building sub? because if you want it, you have it. You don't have to interview. I said, I know I don't. And that's exactly what I text the person. I know I don't. Because I sent a letter to the superintendent as well as every single person on that board, on the board. Okay. Do you want it? Now, I said yes, and I took the job. You didn't have to be interviewed or anything. And then someone calls me talking about well, the person who told you they was mistaken. It wasn't the building who did it, the school building. It was the admin. I know the admin, and I know that you know that I know. But I'm not gonna play petty, piddly bullshit with you. So I just said, okay, it's over now. The superintendent got back to me right away that Monday morning. I'm so sorry about what happened. Do you he said that they're going to be calling you from the school for a position if you want it. Okay. And then I get the email, blah blah. And he said, let me know how it goes. I will most certainly let you know how it goes. And if there's any more issues, you will be the first to know. After, in other words, after my fucking attorney. That man was sitting there waiting. Call me, bitch. I want to go on vacation this year, bitch. Call. Especially given the district. Supposed to be one of the premier districts. So over time, of course I told people that I work with there in the district, I don't give a fuck. I was doing some bullshit. People were like, oh my God, what'd they do? Yeah. Do you know who did it and why? No, I don't know who did it, nor do I know why. So when I thought about it, I said, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take the job. But after I got to work, I said, you should have just sued the fuck out of them. They wouldn't have carried it through. They would have just gave you a big fat check and told you just one of them kind of places. Don't say nothing. You don't want people to know. I said, that's what the fuck you should have did. But what I did was I asked someone for advice. And this is someone who's played her little teeny tiny role with this whole shit because they told her she was going to get some money too. And she was like, I'll go and take a job. And I said to myself, no, you wouldn't. I know you wouldn't. But I should have listened to myself and went on ahead and called that attorney and said, let's do this. Now, I was like, I have no idea who did that nor why. So people ask me, do you think the principal had something to do with it? I absolutely do. Now, when I went to the building to, you had to go to the admin building, get your badge and, all of the taxes, papers, and all of that kind of stuff. When I walked in, the lady who handles that, she was the same lady who handled it the very first time I was there as a building sub. And she looked at me and smiled as if to say, good. Because she knew what the fucking dealio was. But she's not going to say anything. So people were asking, you think that principal she worked there 2 years and after that she got her ass fired. Of course, bitch, you got fired. Your fat fuck ass. Oh, silly ass black woman. Talking about, this is my dream to be a principal in this district. Oh, yeah, you fucked it up. See what I'm saying about how people just fuck their whole stilo up? Just by being fucking idiots and fools. And helping niggers who don't have shit. Or unless they siphon off some woman. Try to destroy her. Or for ones they have destroyed. So I said, I don't know. And they were like, well, she's friends with that one lady in that building, in the admin building. I said, I don't know. The lady who's over from me. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck this is about. And they were like, did you ever have any problems with her, any issues with her? Absolutely not. Matter of fact, very first day I met her, she set me in off and talked to me for 2 hours about, I look at all the injustices they do to black people. See how people just talk a lot of shit. You don't give a fuck about black people. It's like, because there's really, people were thinking there was really no way that anybody else could have done it. And she friends with the lady over in Human Resources. They real good friends. Maybe, maybe she did that. Oh, maybe she did. I don't know. I didn't know who the person was in Human Resources. But the lady who was the head of Human Resources, let me fix that. The head of it. I don't know who she is. I don't know none of these people. Goddamn, I'm a fucking substitute teacher. You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, it was like it had to be her. So anyway, and you all never fought. You never had no issues with her. I was like, excuse me. Absolutely not. Hold on. I like shuffling these cards while I'm talking. Just have something in my hands or whatever. No, never. Absolutely not, never. I ain't no goddamn fool. I'm a substitute teacher. And I'm not a fool. What would I be fighting with her for? Anybody else? Never no discipline, nothing. Okay. And then the bitch was fired. I just happened to be a Whole Foods one day. I get in line and look who's in front of me. Her fat fuck ass. And bitch, if you ever see this video, you saw me behind you. I wasn't gonna say shit to you, but your little baby was really a pretty baby. But bitch, you ain't. Next thing I know, they tell me, is he over there at Cleveland Clinic? That's everybody's default when they need a job. Cleveland Clinic. They'll hire you for something, bitch. Okay, anyway. So back to these notifications that I was getting. And these people, these familiar faces that worked at that motherfucking gym. Or worked out at that fucking gym. Where this motherfucker Philippe has been trying to destroy me and diminish me for years. With the fake family I had, with BreaunaJewellBellamy and whosoever and all the broodmares there at that motherfucking gym. And whoever else he could get on board. All the other men. Remember how Sam Jackson did that at on School Days? What did he say? Mission men. Okay, or something like that he did. Okay, whatever the name of that school was on School Days. But anyway, it wasn't at Mission College yet. So anyway, I'm getting these notifications like, let me check into this because I keep getting it over and over and over and over again. The Lord sure will talk to you when you talk to the Lord. The great mother will sure wake your bitch ass up. Wake up, bitch. I got some coffee for you this morning. Okay. And I just go down a little fucking rabbit hole. Now look at this, bitch. Now look at that. Look at this. Now look at that. Now look at this. Now bing! 4-4. Oh, hold on. I gotta send a text real quick. Okay. And I looked, I said, It's what you wanted me to see. It is what I wanted you to look at. Now I'm going to say this. Ma'am. You act like you hated the fucking woman. And you couldn't stand her and all the ghetto-ness that was going on in that building. But if you had anything to do with that, if you played a role, there's someone who's been working in the district for, you know how they be there for 20 years and all that type of shit, forever. They got their little degree, passed their little certified board test or whatever, and they got the job there, and I was going to stay here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be here forever. Which is fine. I knows people. And I'm going to do this for him. And the bitch will never know. I'll talk to the principal. We going to pay her. He's all that and more in Cleveland. He be doing them silly ass, country bumpkin, what they call them, Chitlin Circuit plays down there at the Playhouse Square. He knows peoples, and I knows peoples too. I'm really gonna be in there. Bitch, don't worry about it. The bitch will never know. She ain't nobody. She don't have no nothing. Hell, she don't have no power. We can do whatever to her we want. You gonna get paid, bitch. You gonna get paid. Go on and talk to your friend over there in the A building. All right, I'll see what I can do. One of them sorority bitches. What y'all had nothing against the sororities? Nothing. When they doing the right thing. One of these people that take these photo ops, you know, they bougie, wannabe, bourgeoisie. I'm of the bourgeoisie. What they call them, the top, what is it? Is it the 10% or whatever? I don't know. Of the black community. I've got this degree and that degree. I went to this college and matriculated at such and such and such. And I'm in such and such sorority. Our history is blah, blah, blah. I work in one of the top districts, school districts. I have my nice house in my suburb. But yet I do like me some fried chicken and soul food every now and then. I go to this gym and I keep my body tight and svelte. In the back of your mind, you're thinking, bitch, I'm hungry, bitch. There's nothing wrong with a little starvation. Just to look good. Now, bitch, if you didn't have nothing to do with it, then my apologies. But, bitch, if your motherfucking ass did, and you was trying to help a no-good nigga, what did he astral project to you too and play your booty hole and pussy like he did BreaunaJewellBellamy? Oh, no, that's right. He just went in there and talked to her. His brother went in there and astral projected and played in her vagina and booty and pussy and all that shit. And I love your photo ops and your fake smiles. We're in there. We're the club at 50 years old. Bitch, if you did, and that was you, And the intention was for me to never work, well, at least within that district. But since Cleveland is so everybody know everybody and everybody's into woven, I remember I worked with one guy. No, one guy, he worked there. And he came from another district. And me and him were talking with, it was a young guy. And he told me, oh, well, we all know each other. He was he the vice principal? I think he was the vice principal, very young. And me and him were talking one day. He said, we all know each other in all the districts. I know. At least amongst the black community. The white people could care less about your fucking ass. They'll speak to you and be nice to you on the premises at the Christmas party. That's for everyone. But then they have their own separate time away. Like, oh my God, thank God we got away from those motherfuckers. Have our own Christmas party without all of that. Oh God. But so, I don't know, was the word for it to spread around? Don't hide a bitch, don't hide a bitch, don't hide a bitch, don't hide a bitch. Why? She did a good job when she was at such and such. We got good word about her and her work. She works well with the children. The teachers loved her. We're begging her to come in their room and help with the children, goddamn, because they couldn't handle their motherfucking asses. She black enough to help the wild-ass black children that we can't help. But professional enough that she knows how to have a decent conversation. Why can't we hire her, bitch? Because there's a motherfucking nigger down there at a gym in Cleveland Heights who wants to destroy her ass because she won't give him any poontang. And beg him to be her lord and master. Oh, okay. We'll keep her on the we'll put on do our high list, bitch. That's what we'll do. So, of course, you know the person that the principal was friends with at the admin building over the human resources was black. Of course you know that. If that's what happened. So funny how people always, black people always, especially black women, like I said, the biggest Karens walking. They're always in this, all about all the injustices and how our people ain't nothing but fucking victims. That bitch kept me in her office for about 2 or 3 hours talking about all the disparities. And look how this district they don't treat the black kids fairly, nor correctly, nor right. It just ain't right. It just ain't right. But as soon as an ugly penis comes along, sure, Lord and Master, I bow down to you and do whatever you say. You're just so fine and sexy. Take away our wherewithal the best we can. All right, Master. Okay. You gonna astral project to me tonight or Betty Ann? When you do, come on in up after 1. My husband, he'll be asleep by then. Since you told me I can't come to your house. And you won't even buy me 1 French fry from the McDonald's. Sure, destroy a life. I help you. If you had something to do with that. And you had something to do with that? May everything you work for turn to shit. And everybody that you know and love. Your children and your children's children and your children's children. Well, they got all the great degrees. They just, every time they get a job, day 1, they get fired. I don't understand why. They lost everything. And so did I, bitch. I put in all my time. I can't even get my retirement package. savings is just gone. The sorority sisters won't even talk to me no more. I don't know why. Nobody will help me. And I done gained £1 billion. The nigga won't even let me in the gym no more. And I didn't do nothing to nobody. Nothing. I'm a good person. I want all the sisterhood to do great. If I'm wrong, then that won't happen. In any way, shape, or form. That won't happen to you. If I'm wrong. But bitch, if I'm not, wait for it. No, I won't be doing any black magic witchcraft. Like y'all do. I don't need to. I don't do that shit. Like y'all do. Which, by the way, a few years back, 2021, I believe, or 2022, I had a vision. I'm driving, minding my fucking business. And I see all y'all. I didn't see you, bitch. But I saw that motherfucker with them gym bitches and a couple of dudes telling each single one of them to throw shit my way. And I felt it every time one of them tried. But they felt it when they got the shit back. So much so, because I saw each one when I sent the shit back. And exactly how it... I don't want to do that. And so much so when I saw the main broodmare in motherfucking Target. Hey, how you doing? Hey. Hi. But in dumb woman fashion, because she continued to try. He told each one of them, now you do it. Now you do it. Now you. At some fucking party. And look at these motherfuckers. Y'all just do whatever he said. Like just dumb cum buckets. From the most ghetto and poor. No, I'm not going to say that. I take that back. Not from the most ghetto and poor. I lived in the hood. I grew up in it. First East Cleveland. Well, it wasn't that bad then. And then Cleveland, right in Glenville. Then when I lived in Atlanta, I lived over there not far from the West End because I was in school at the ITC, the AU Center, right there at the West End. And then I lived in D.C. when, D.C. was before the gentrification. Not so much the first time I lived in Atlanta. The first time I lived in Atlanta, I lived in Midtown. But that was the second time when I was in the AU Center. I lived in, not every single place I lived in was a hood, but I lived in enough of them. And one thing I noticed about black people in the hood, see, y'all be talking about black people in the hood did, black people in the hood did. I never found some of those things with black people in the hood. I found it with the black suburban motherfuckers. All the time, the black people in the hood that I've come across, what you see is what you get. And they're trying to pretend to be something that they're fucking not. And act the goddamn fool. They'll be the ones to tell you when you come to them, do this for me to hurt that bitch. Why, nigga? You got a problem with that bitch, you need to deal with it your fucking self. Don't bring me in your bullshit. That's usually their attitude. They don't want to deal with cowards. Especially no cowardly ass man. Y'all give people, black people in the hood such a bad rap. They usually don't act a goddamn fool. It's them ones in them suburbs who wants to be. That's who we usually be. Fakers and pretenders. Anyway, so I have a little more time than I thought I would. I was saying to you all last night, talking about some of the black magic that I experienced with these people. Now, for those people who saw it last night, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't, you can go watch the video I did last night. It was the last one. Where I have the snake where BreaunaJewellBellamy's face is. That's the thumbnail because that's what she is. So the person I was telling y'all who did the knife in my back, the searing hot knife, that was a fat ass. What's her name? I call her Phoenix. We used to call her Phoenix. Her name is Almitra. And tried to engulf me in her big fat ass. And with the one with the arrow, that they sent the arrow and then she was laughing. This is the one that said, ain't nobody never did nothing to you. And ain't nobody, no. She said, you ain't never did nothing to nobody, and can't nobody say that you have. But yet that's what she went to them levels. The bitch later on came through one night after talking about, I'm sorry. Ain't that something? Never materialized and shit. Said, bitch, I'm sorry I did that shit. Would you? Came through one night, I'm sorry. Bitch. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'll just leave it at that for now. I'll just leave it at that for now. I was going to tell you some more of the shit I experienced with these motherfuckers. And who did what? I told you about the motherfucker trying to get on top of me. And when I say my great grandmother pulled that motherfucker off of me, it's my great grandmother on my birth mother's side. I saw her face. I have a picture of her. I know exactly what she looks like. And she grabbed that motherfucker from behind and whipped his ass up off of me. Oh, okay. So I just told you what that motherfucker did with the brood mares and the couple of men that I saw. Well, it was only actually one man that I saw. And so even if any of you all backed away early on, you still was a part of it. Well, I stopped early on, bitch. I did stop. I knew it wasn't right. But did you do it at first? I did. Why? Because he told me to. Who is this man? What is he? Why y'all let him run y'all? That's why you hate my guts so much. Fuck out of here, your weird ugly ass. We need people to worship his fucking ass. What a weakling. But so when them things come through, like I said, I kept getting notifications for about 3 days. Bing, bing, bing. Look, bitch, look. Bitch, look, bitch. We're trying to tell you something. Take a look. And finally, I was like, okay, shit, well, goddamn. What is this shit? Pay attention. Pay attention to the signs and synchronicities. Pay attention. Look, it may lead you to something. Now, I could be wrong, like I said. But I doubt it. I doubt it. These be the people posting their fake fuck pictures. All their fucking lies. All right, so I didn't expect to be on so long. I was waiting to meet with someone, but they are running behind. So that's all I had in my mind to talk about. And bitch, if you watching and whatnot, or you do watch, don't be mad. Y'all grow up now. If you're mad, only be mad at yourself. Be mad at the stupidity in you that agreed or came up with the idea to do some dumb shit like that. Now, how much of of your bills does this motherfucker pay? I know that nigga ain't paying not one of your fucking bills. How much of his bills do you pay? Does he pay? When you're lonely and feeling down and in need, how many times does he come through to comfort you? Genuinely, not trying to get some poontang. Did he send you on vacation last year? You paid your way to, I don't know, wherever you went on vacation? He assisted you with your children and your home. I guess you got a husband. I don't know, which would make it all the fucking worse, but because ultimately you're cheating on your fucking husband by doing that shit. I didn't have sex with him. It's not that. Why would you kowtow and submit to some man that's not your fucking husband? Don't y'all believe in that shit, right? Taking care of his needs. So don't be mad. Don't be frustrated. I really should have went on and sued that motherfucker. I'm going to look and see, maybe if it's in this, what in statute of limitations, I might still be able to. Yeah, they did give me the job, but still. If I mean, it was an injustice. See what motherfuckers like that do for your life? Ruin your whole fucking career. Because ultimately, they would look to see, well, who put you on the fucking do not hire list and why? Your name just didn't slip on there one day, just fall on the paper, just fall in the computer system under the list. Who decided and why and how? Now, ultimately, whoever did it, if you played a role in it, they're going to sell your fucking ass out and say, this bitch came to me and told me, I'm all right, I'm caught, goddamn, I'm caught. Shit, goddamn, I'm caught. Okay, it was such and such. But why? Let's go talk to that bitch. You did this? Why? Because the big monster man told me to. And because now the district has to pay me some fucking money. And they always paying people money for all the bullshit they do. Probably all of them, honestly. And they just keep it under, don't tell them, shh. When you go to him and say, I'm in trouble and blah, blah, and I might lose my job and so on and so forth, what do you think that motherfucker's going to do? I help you, I save you. No, he's not going to give a fuck. Now, whether I do or not, you still, well, you probably already gotten karma on your fucking ass. You ain't gonna take no picture of that though. Or you getting knocked upside the head with karma. You ain't gonna take no picture of that. You don't talk about. You'll talk about it, but you won't attribute it to where it's really coming from. But you silly ass motherfuckers who do shit like that, you don't even think that karma has. You don't even think what you did to someone else has anything to do with it. You think what you did was all right. In the Indian church, praising the Lord, praise Him. With your pretty ass, ugly ass dresses on. Bibles in tow. You honestly don't think that the shit that happens to you has anything to do with it. That you just set out to just destroy someone's wherewithal. Duh. You're dumb. I don't give a fuck about none of your fucking degrees. You're dumb. I got them shits too, so. You're dumb. If you did this. If it was you. And I ain't talking about the one who had the same trainer as me. No. Although she looked like she didn't like my fucking ass, so what? Who cares? I don't like you neither. How's that? That's another thing. You people talk about I hate you and I don't like that person. Why do you think that person gives a fuck about your like? Whether you like them or hate them or not. Okay, bitch, I don't like you neither. How's that? Okay, you hate me? Okay, I hate you too. How's that? Y'all thinking about when you were children and some other little kids said that to you, went somewhere and cried. Hopefully adults don't do that. Hopefully they've matured to the point where, okay, Ann. But anyway, bitch, if you did have something to do with that, the word that I just gave you from on high about what's going to happen to you and yours. Because, see, I had me and mine to take care of. I don't give a fuck if they're grown or not. And then they can look back and wonder, what the fuck going on? Mama did such and such and fucked it up for everybody. Can we pray this up off of us? Whatever. All right, so anyway, that's the end of that for right now. Okay. You all have favor. Peace. Y'all don't be dumb. Don't be out here doing dumb shit for anybody. The only person's life is going to ruin it. You might be successful in ruining someone's life for an idiot. What they call y'all, them people, flying monkeys, y'all. I'm talking y'all. But you just know that it's going to come on you worse. Nobody quit trying to fool people with your fucking photo ops that you take and put on fucking social goddamn media. Nobody's dumb. And people stop looking at people's fake ass pictures thinking that means, oh, their life better than mine. They had a wonderful life. You go somewhere, do the same shit they do. Put on some bullshit clothes and makeup. Because that's all they did. I don't give a fuck. But who cares if they traveled? Who cares? They look like they eating down there, Ruth's Chris, so what? And miserable as fuck after they take their goddamn picture. Don't be dumb. Ain't no man your God. Somebody comes to you with that. Don't be dumb. I just heard, don't be deceived and do not be mocked. You're being mocked as well. You think you're making a mockery of someone else. No, you're being made a mockery of. That person who is enlisting you to do bullshit to hurt someone else is making a mockery of you. I'm trying to help you, motherfuckers. Not only is it a possibility you could lose your fucking job, here it is. If I were to go through with it, or if I had have gone through, and they said, well, we'll just settle out of court, I could have simply said, no, I don't want to settle out of fucking court. And called all the news media places and put it in all over the internet, on the news, everywhere. This district did this to me. And all because of some sucker fucking it up for how many people? Now they got to pull from their resources that's supposed to go for the children and the school to give to me. Because of you, because of that motherfucker. A dumb human being. Don't stop being dumb. I don't understand it. Y'all have favor. Peace.